And then finally, inflation. What is the definition of inflation? It is an average change in the price of some basket of goods and services which people buy. Which is to say, it is a rise in the general price level, and the inflation rate is calculated as the cost of the basket at current prices divided by the cost of the basket at some base year. So we choose some base year, we look at how prices have changed for that basket of goods over time, and that is how we calculate the inflation rate. What is in that basket? Well, if you would like to, we can go to Stats SA. We go to CPI here. I just wait for it to come over here. There we go. Consumer Price Index. Okay, this one doesn't have the basket, unfortunately. We can look for the consumer price basket, and what they do is they just look at the price of like as many different things as you can possibly think of. So like carrots go into that basket. Wet wipes go into the basket. Motor car, sort of an average motor car goes into the basket. Laptop computers go into the basket. Socks, go into the basket. If you just about anything you can think of that people buy, from like anything in your toiletry bag, is in that basket. Yeah.
What is CPIX?
So we don't use CPIX anymore, but we did used to have two measures, CPI and CPIX. CPIX was take the cost of inflation, CPI, not cost of inflation, the inflation, right? And then strip from that inflation due to rises in rental of properties. Because what happens is when you raise interest rates, then you normally raise property rental rates, which means you raise interest rates and CPI goes up. Whereas when you raise interest rates, the price of just about everything else, you would expect to start increasing at a much slower rate. So it was kind of this attempt to understand what is CPI when we strip out the effects of rental rate increases due to changes in interest rate. But then they decided they didn't want to do that anymore. So CPIX, we don't do that. Yeah.
So you said it was excluding rental rates, but when I watched the video, it said that they excluded mortgage.
Yeah, same thing. So rental rates, mortgage payments is your payment, the same thing. When you raise interest rates, your bond payments go up.
But does like when you say rental, does that include rent and mortgage?
I would have to double check. I'm not really sure. But because we don't use it anymore, I'm not really clear. But essentially, the point is that they strip out of that things that would go up because interest rates are going up. That was what the point of it was. That's why the mortgage bond part of it was taken out. In my mind, the rental part was taken out. It might not be. We'd have to check the definition, but I don't even know if they still have that available. Okay, so we can find the basket. If you want to, go onto the Stats SA website, find the basket. Think of some random item and see if it's in the basket. If you've got nothing better to do with your time. So if that's the CPI, it's just the cost of a basket, right, in different periods, then the inflation rate is how does that index change? In other words, how does that cost of the basket change over time? So we take CPI at some period minus CPI in the base period divided by CPI in the base period gives us an actual rate of inflation. Right? So here's a really quick little video that explains it nicely. Let's watch this.
But how does that inflation account for example, bread only costs $5, but you have a hell of a lot more than you have, I don't know, laptops or something, or something else.
I don't really know how to answer that because I'm not really sure what you're asking.
So I'm saying, so if you just have that basket of goods, so you've
Yes.
got a single loaf of bread,
Yes.
as well as, I don't know,
A laptop. Okay, yeah. Whatever. GMT, did you say?
You consume lots and lots of bread, so
Yes.
if the price of bread rises, then should
Yes.
it be weighted?
Yes, it is weighted. So in that basket it'll be like, okay, you buy one laptop every 3 years. So the third of a laptop and you buy 100 loaves of bread, so 100 loaves of bread. So then if the price of a loaf of bread changes, it'll be 100 times that price change. And if the price of the laptop changes, it's like 1/3 of that price change. Goes into the average. Got it. Good questions. Sorry, I'm not sure. Oh, right. So here's CPI for South Africa at the time. It only went up to 2012, so we can go get this information again as well. But what you'll see is that in 2010, the index was 111.7. 2011, it's 117.3. 2012, it's 123.9. What that means is the change from this number to this number was a change of 4.3%. And the change from this number to this number was a change of, sorry, not 4.3, from this number to this number is 5%, from this number to this number is 5.6%. Can you get that? Can you work that out? Do you want to just get a calculator and work that out? How do you get 5.6 is my question to you. There's the index. They got a number of 5.6. How did they get that number? Get out a calculator and see if you can work it out. Okay, has anyone had a problem getting the number 5.6? Did anyone struggle with that? Put your hand up if you are. If no one puts a hand up, then I assume you know how to get 5.6, then I move on. Okay.
How did you get it?
You want to tell us how you got 5.6? Sorry, what's your name? Maggie. Maggie, how did you get 5.6%?
Oh, I said I took the index from the 1 year in the 1 month.
Okay, which year? Which?
So I worked with 2012 and 2011 December.
Yes.
So 126.7
Okay.
minus 119.9
Yes.
divided by 190.9 times by 100.
Which gives you?
5.7.
5.7.
Yeah.
I see.
How do you work out inflation? It's the change, the percentage change in the index. That's what inflation is. We go back. Right, where's our equation? CPI, it's the percentage change in the index. There it is. So if you want to get the number 5.6, how would you get that number? You take 123.9 divided by, minus 117.3 divided by 117.3. And the same for any one of these numbers here, that is how you get it. Except obviously this one is going to be difficult to get because you won't know what the year before. And what we'll do is we'll finish it there for today. We'll recap on Monday and just kind of recap and finish off this inflation discussion.